Okay.
I'm record here, and so what this does is kind of it'll record a local recording. It'll make everything look nice and pretty. And I'm like I said, I am struggling today because when I don't have my tech producer and I haven't done one of these in like I don't know 10, 15 episodes. I'm like, wait a second, how do we do what we
You
do?
can do it. You got it together.
Oh, it's good though. All right, so I've got this recording. I'm gonna come over to this tab and look at that. We have a live stream going. So I'm gonna copy this link.
We live, baby.
Let's go. We don't even have I won't have an intro track today. Man, Taylor, we miss you. I'm gonna message this to you real quick, Alex.
The live link.
Yep.
I will share. Is there like a chat? Oh, I see the chat here.
Yeah, so if you go to the Pushback Army, you can either pull up the YouTube link if you want, and that's like all those YouTube comments will be right in there, or in this Riverside. I think it pulls them, but let's find out. I need this link right now. So, that's alcoholic. That's not alcoholic. Bear with the unorganization because man, it has been
It's okay.
I love it when the last minute changes happen, but it's gonna be a good episode. So we got the pre-party. I'm calling this the pre-party episode. This is the pre-party portion where we get to see behind the scenes with Allison Stanley. It's Allison Stanley, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I am really pumped about this episode today because I want to hear a little bit about the backstory of Allison.
I got your link.
Perfecto. I'm gonna pop up these. All right, perfect. We got some comments in here. Eric Stoke, what's up? Nico Aleman in the chat.
Up, Nico?
Road Rash Cash joining us. All right. So, and then Nico says my audio quality is shit. So great.
Your audio quality?
Apparently, I have like $5,000 in here, but you know. How does it sound on your end, Allie?
It is I can hear you, but it's like certain words y'all say. I'm like, it sounds a bit muffled, so I have to. I'm like, put it together. I don't know what happened. Well, I don't know if y'all can see me, but what's
nice? I love this.
Are we still on this thing? Hello.
Oh my gosh, Taylor, we miss you. Please, Taylor, please don't have a fever. Come back.
All that stuff that he said about you being a B+ producer or whatever, dude.
I'm an F producer now.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, this blows. Okay, how is audio? Is audio like A, B, C, F?
I hear. Like I can't. When I'm talking, it's repeating.
it. Oh my gosh. Where's my producer?
Is that? Right, do you think that's our internet connection?
I don't think so. I mean, we're at 720 here. 720. You're good. You're still uploading. Fine. Let's echo cancellation is off. Noise reduction.
I can deal with the repeating. Maybe.
Tell you what. Tech is one of the worst things.
Just call him. He can talk you through it. Call him on the phone.
Sure he can. All right. So there's all kinds of audio issues, apparently. But we're going to get it figured out.
Gives us time to get shares on.
You know, is she breaking up in your headset?
Yeah, she's breaking up.
I couldn't hear what you said. I hate this.
I said the viewers on here.
Watch it. They're gonna watch us suffer. Hey, just call him on the phone.
Oh my gosh.
Put him on
He's not. He's gonna be puking or something. He's not gonna be able to tell what's happening here. can't trust that. Let's see if we have it live through. So we have this. Allie is on the call. Our audio is apparently a little bit donk, which is part of the scenario here. Let's make sure I'm not missing any other technicality problems. Let's pull this out. What happens? I'm just curious. Totally just curious. Allie, if I do this, can you hear me better?
Yeah, I can. Good. It's just me. I'm talking. It repeated.
Let's see here. Let's try this. What happens if?
Hello, testing. Reading the comments.
This is on YouTube actually. So I have the YouTube chat pulled up on the right here, and we are on the left and right from this. So, are you on a?
No, that won't work on my iPad. Okay, I'm sorry.
If you got, do you have a separate device? You can pull them up.
Yeah, so I'm on my iPad and I have my phone with the YouTube. So I was trying to. Oh, I have YouTube app. Oh, I found it. Got it. What's up? Do I have AirPods or headphones? I don't have a headphone jack inside my iPad, so I do have some in my car.
I mean, if this is where, if you can hear us fine, I can hear you fine.
Good. Yeah.
So live stream peeps, weekly run out live. Listen, last minute change. Taylor is sick, so he's got a fever. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get through this. But luckily, I know this is recording, so we can process this afterwards and re-upload it. So y'all might be able to come back if we don't get the live questions in.
Yeah.
But all that energy aside, I want to pretend like our track came off and we had our intro track, and I am welcoming Allison.
It doesn't help that I just walked in like 5 seconds ago.
We've got Allison Stanley joining us. What place? Race for the Rail. What place was it?
I ended up in 4th place. Made a rookie move right at the end. It's I'm not a competitor in my life. I've never done any competitive sports or any sports at all. And I made a rookie move with racing and let my backside open to Miss Rachel Payne, who is such a beast. She's so fast. But like, I got this. You learn little things as you race. Each time you do a race, you're like, okay, I need to do this different. I need to do this different. And I'm just starting to pick up on those things, and I'm learning over time. So they're very thankful I'm able to go to all these races.
It was so, like, that racing I watched was so, I literally felt like I was in X Games, like watching you guys race, and like my kids are on their seat. People that were in my life that don't know anything about one wheels are on their seats watching. Like, you guys crushed it.
Yeah, the Ranger Danger was so cool. I think for the live stream, like it just looked cool. And then the whole course in general was so fun. That was way better than the year before, Race for the Rail, just going down the fire road and with like a built berm and like drop. But this was way more with what we use one wheels for. Like they built little better drops and other routes. If you didn't want to do the drops, that actually would take away time if you didn't take that line. Last year, it was no need to take the drop.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I thought the alternate routes were a really cool idea, and the coverage was really cool this year. And watching you, that's crazy. It was
absolutely insane.
Even when we were watching the men's race, I was on edge the whole time, just watching it. Of course, because Kyle was in it, but in general, I'm like even watching the men racing, it's so insane. Just that was a crazy course.
Man, such a good time. Now, I want to back it up a couple steps here because I want to know the story of Allison Stanley, and that starts with like our big question when we have people on the podcast, and that's how did you get into one wheel?
So I'm from Galveston County in Texas, near Houston. And I knew someone that had a one wheel, so I was familiar with it. I had no clue how I would try to get on it every so often. Couldn't really do it. So fast forward, I moved to San Diego, and I am still trying to learn this one wheel. And I would go every so often to ride it, very not confident at all. Like I would never go take the board by myself. Like I was like too scared. And I went one day and I saw maybe like 6 people on a one wheel in San Diego. And of course, I tried to chase them down, but I'm so slow. Like it was taking me a second, but I'm finally like catch up to these people, and I'm like, "Who are you guys?" And it turns out it's AJ from Wheel Fun Stuff and his girlfriend Lauren and like a whole bunch of just one wheelers. I don't even remember who was there at the time. And I was just like, I've never seen this many people on this board. Like this is the only board I've seen is like this other person that has one. And now I'm seeing like 6 of them. And they're like, oh yeah, there's so many, like there's riders all over. And they're like, yeah, we're Wheel Fun Stuff. And I'm like, I'm like ignoring the fact they're throwing around words like float life, Wheel Fun Stuff, all these terms. I'm just going with it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what's Wheel Fun Stuff? And then they're like, oh yeah, we kind of like created this shop. We just kind of do maintenance on the like tire changes and all of that. So I just started hanging out with Wheel Fun Stuff. And I'd go over there every day. They hosted, the very first thing I went to was a trick clinic that they put on. And I learned to do a body varial that day. And I was like, this is crazy. And that's what really got me into it, was doing the tricks on the boards. I saw the videos of Kyle doing crazy stuff. Like that was before a lot of this was and AJ was showing videos of like, oh yeah, you can do this on the board. And I was just mind blown. Like I was like, I thought they were just for cruising around like on the street, but you can treat it like a skateboard almost and like do all these tricks. And like, I don't know. And I was into it from that point. Like I was like, oh, it's not just for cruising. You can go hard with this. So I wanted to learn tricks.
Just for context on time here, what board generation is this? Is it Plus? Are you XR?
No,
are
XR.
You...
XR.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started out on the XR. Got it.
Yeah, started out on the XR. And I actually got, once I went from the XR, tried to ride a pint, and I loved how nimble the pint was. And then I was overconfident and like hit a pothole and fell. And never wanted to ride the pint again. I was done. I was like, I don't want to ride that thing. And then I just like stuck with the XR. But I still rip a pint X sometimes. I have one I got, and it's fun. It's fun to do nose slides on.
The form factor is definitely, I mean, that tire size especially, which I got to ride Travis's Growler, right? That's what we'll call them, the Growler size, right? With the XR size, but still that nimble tire. That makes such a difference.
Yeah, for sure. The Growlers are fun. Those are perfect size boards.
Yeah, I like ripping around on the Pine X, but excuse me, the one regular pint that I rode was like, I almost immediately like over revved it.
Straight nose dive.
Yeah. But the Pine X is really snappy and fun. Yeah.
It is. I gotta say, overall, out of all the one wheels, the XR, GT, and Pine, I still prefer my XR over all of them. I love that board. I love the way it feels. I love the power of the GT, but if I want an overall board I can do trails and tricks on, I'd still prefer my XR. I wish they would make it feel like the power of a GT with the body style of, but we're getting on to the VESC, so
yeah.
that's my alley then, my up alley's alley.
Have you got a VESC setup started yet?
No, I actually haven't even been interested in it at all, because it's like I'm not very into like the new thing that comes out. Like I'm just like, I'll wait till it comes out, and then once I find out if it's good, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll try it. And so we have a couple here at the shop. I think Kyle just finished making one, and AJ has one, so they have some here at the shop. But I've never really ridden it, like just like got on around the shop, but never like taken it out on a trail or even out on the street really. So, but I am interested in the possibility of that, getting it going, because just I see how it's a better board in there, how we're making it a board that we're wanting, that we're being sheltered from getting somehow for some reason.
Right. Did you watch the recent video with Ren and the Float Live when they were doing the vert with the remote that Nico and who else was in on that remote project? I can't remember. But it has where you can control the tilt with the remote. I mean, they were literally shredding the mini ramp with the one wheel.
I didn't see that, but I was watching Nico's story all the time, so I definitely saw him when they were messing with it, and he would go try it on some things.
Travis has one of those now.
Does he? Of course he does. It's mind blowing to think that like we're almost to that point of just like doing vert with a one wheel,
Yeah, I know. It's insane. Like it's cool. I see the progress and I'm into it. I'm into it. I'm just waiting. I don't know. I have right now I have two XRs, one GT. So I could easily make one of my XRs into a vest.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Now, so back to your story here. You're coming from Texas and you're in California now, right?
Yeah, I moved. I just moved. I knew Texas was it wasn't my vibe. Like, I'm from Texas and I love Texas, but it's like never fit in there completely. I've always wanted to check out California, and I had visited San Diego years prior. I went on a long vacation for like 6 months, and just like stayed in San Diego in different areas, and I liked it. So, yeah, so I just moved there and started a new life.
Right off the bat. And did you move to Cali because of one-wheel riding, or
No. I knew nothing about. I'm a dental hygienist, actually. I went to school in Texas to be a dental hygienist, and I moved here I still do dental hygiene. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So dental hygiene to almost pro one-wheel riders, right?
Yeah, my patients crack up when I tell them my story. They love it.
So you said you have not done a lot of sports before this, like not skateboarding or anything, no board sports?
No board sports. I have attempted to snowboard one time prior to one-wheeling. I had gotten on a skateboard, but nothing. I still can't do a proper ollie on a skateboard. I can't even like push around. Well, I ended up buying a skateboard, and I'm trying to learn now, so I'm getting better. But no, I've like hopped on it. I've always been an active person. I'm just into a lot of things, but never really put my passion and put passion into something, I guess. I did cheer for 1 year. That's it.
That's so interesting. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but you're featured in some of Ori's Flight Fins banners and stuff, right? Is that you?
Yeah. So Flight Fins is one of my sponsors. They hit me up one day, and I was into it because I had only hopped on if people have Flight Fins. Like, I would just, when I was new at one-wheeling, just get on their board and try to like hop with the board over things. But I never put any on my board. And then Michael from Flight Fins hit me up one day and asked if I wanted to do this shoot, and I went with Kyle and Floaty and Ori, and I don't even remember who was all there. There's a few people there. Noah Mead, I believe, is there, and we pretty much I had Flight Fins on my board for like 2 days prior to that, and I was jumping over these ramps. Like, that picture is like literally I think I had Flight Fins for 2 days.
I remember I walked into the shop and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, is that Alice Stanley? Like, just this big ass banner in the shop of that, like, back there. That's gnarly.
Corey took I believe Corey took I believe he took the photos. But yeah, it was cool. It's just because I'm not afraid to. It's not that scary. It's a ramp, so and you know how to ride a one wheel, so you're just. I don't know. It's not that scary to me, and I'm just for it. I'm just down to do whatever. If I have the slightest sense that I think I can do something, I'm definitely gonna do it.
That's awesome. That's so amazing. All right, I want to jump into the comments here real quick to address a couple questions some people had in there. Audie here was mentioning, I think, Audie here. Would you want a smoother route? The course always seems kind of chunky, and I think he's referring back to ORL.
I think a race course should be a balance of things. Like, I think there should be sections you can catch speed, but I think a lot of being a professional one-wheeler, what we're trying to do, I guess, is being able to control your board in all kinds of situations. So I really like the chunkiness at points, because some people can't do that as much. They're used to smooth trails. And I think it should be a balance of like, okay, there's sections you have to be smart. Like, it's not just about going as fast as you can. It's about how much you can control your board in the situation as fast as you can. And so either you want to get your speeds in those situations, but it's not so smart to go as fast in this section. Like, it's smarter to slow down. And it's going to be faster to slow down there. And and can you get around this? How efficiently can you get around this? And It's like, hey, you're the master one wheeler of this race right here.
Good. It's good though. You have the strategy in there, right? It's like you can't just you can't have the fastest people on the cars. You got to have some serious strategy behind it.
Yeah, that was my mistake my first year of racing. I was just naturally good at one wheeling after it clicked. Like I remember just I would just start going on group rides. That's all I was doing, just hanging out with. I'd go hang out Wheel Fun Stuff, and there'd be group rides, like at least 2 a week. So I'd be going to those, and anyone would be like, "Hey, Allie, drop off that," and I'm like, "Okay," and do that. Or they'll be like, "I'm just trying to keep up right behind someone on the trail," and it's just, I don't care if I fall, like it's not that bad. Like, and I'm really good at falling. Like I'm naturally I have pretty good agility, and like I'm very flexible, and I have decent muscle. So I'm like when you do fall, it's easy to run out or catch yourself, or so I had that benefit. And so I just wasn't really scared of it, and I don't know, and it's not that scary. So I would just go for it, and I felt really comfortable on the one wheel. And then I did dirt surfers. That was my first race 2 years ago, and I don't remember. I think I placed third or fourth, which is pretty good for my first time racing. And I was also fell off my board a lot though, because I was just trying to go as fast as I can, and my board would like tumble down the mountain, and I'm like, oh my gosh! Like I had this problem with my whole first year of racing. My board every mountain it could tumble down, it would definitely find its way, and so I had to learn to control that over time.
That's awesome. What about board mods? I'm curious now. Like, what's your favorite board mod?
I'm such a basic bitch, honestly. Like I like the board how it is, but my setups right now on my general go-to XR, I have bang bumpers. I still have regular flat pads. I love the flat pads. I don't know why. It's just comfy to me. Straight rails. I don't know. I don't change my board too much, and I like it like that. And I'm not like against the other stuff, I guess. I'm just so like, I feel like in the sense of race for the rail, at least, if you're trying to do those, you need to learn to ride the board how it is. And anything above that is just a benefit to me. So if I could upgrade that, but like things to help me, like I probably, if I changed my rails, I probably could get through something quicker. And I just haven't really done it, I guess, is the thing.
More of a master of the straight OG board than like trying to worry about too many of the mods.
Yeah, I'm just not, I haven't been too focused on that. I'm just like I literally just ride whatever. I'm like, okay, this feels nice.
Race for the rail, they make you ride a stock board, right?
Yes. So they did this last year, let us change our tire, which was to the Enduro, which is cool. So I'm wondering if they'll, there's no other tire, I guess, for the GT, so that's right. But I'm wondering if there's gonna be more tires, and two, if they're still gonna like if they're gonna let more things. I think a big thing where Kyle and I were talking about is they don't let you wear what jersey you want to wear, which is dumb. Like, why can't, like, I didn't get here because of you specifically. Like, let me rep what I want to rep. Like, I'm my own person.
But you can't change the jersry? Like, what?
Yeah, unless you're paying me consistently something. Like, if you're, like, endorsing me to ride this for One Wheel Future Motion, I'll wear that. But, you know, like, let me rep my sponsors who've been, like, helping me out through here. Yeah.
So that's silly. That's silly is what I'm
saying. Yeah, that's for their lives. It's silly stuff, yes. But yeah, I'm hoping they let us be more flexible with it. A lot of people are talking about like I don't know, even hoping to do flight fins during racing, or like even other things, but I don't know that they will ever allow that.
Just imagine they give Luke overlanders during like some of those things, man. So we had this event back here in Ohio at Travis's house where, I mean, Luke was clearing these, what do you say, 15, 20 foot like gaps with it, you know, the overlanders, like the reverse fin.
Yeah.
And so Luke, what's his last name? I'm blanking on his last name.
The one that was at Race to the Rail?
Yeah. Placed third.
Yes. Luke Austin?
Yeah, Luke Austin.
Yep.
So he's like, we're watching him do this thing, and these overlanders on this GT. I mean, it's like a snowboard to him. I'm like, you're launching a 35-pound missile over like this 15 to 20-foot gap. Do you do that at Race for the Rail and watch him just like, oh, here comes a kicker, like this, bam, gone.
Yeah, it definitely gives you a benefit. The overlanders and the flight fence. It's a lock-in method. Like I understand, but I'm also on the other hand, I like the flexibility of being able to do what you want. That's how other sports are. I get both sides. I understand Future Motion's point of I guess their liability issues and they're like wanting to keep the board how it is, but it's still just rider's choice. I guess whatever you can, as long as it's not like a whole different like internal thing going on. I
feel like once they start doing like classes, like if you can have like the raw dog class or something, it's just like OG boards,
mod class, no mod class, like
that'd be cool.
Like, I mean, it gives you a little flexibility to be like, all right, who could really test their skills in this class? Who can test it without it? Like, that's, I mean, just like every other sport, you start classifying it.
To the comments here, Kyle Hansen would like to know what your favorite trail you've ever ridden is.
Kyle, my favorite trail I've ever ridden. That's a hard one. Arkansas has some really nice trails. So I have this like a problem with knowing where I don't know where I'm at a lot of the time. So like I have no trail memory of anything. I'm just remember my experience. Like I remember having a good time and thinking it was fun. So I couldn't name you a specific trail at all, but I think Arkansas trails are so gnarly and beautiful. They're intense. And I think if you think you know how to ride trails, you need to go to Arkansas because it'll check you sometimes.
That's so different than like they're gnarly. That was some of the most fun I've ever had riding a one wheel, though. I think is like my experience there last year.
What would you say? Like in Arkansas, like
dirt surfers is really what I'm referencing. Is like the trails that they have over there. It's all like similar areas. I'm sure anywhere over there is very nice.
So cool.
What would you say in your mind kind of gives you like like the qualities of the trail that seem to like stand out to you the most that like make it a dope experience? Like what are those things that just like when you're on them, like that gives you a high?
Yeah, I've never been asked that. That's interesting. I've never like had to put thought into that. I think I like when I don't want it to be too easy. Like I want it to be a struggle a little bit. But doable obviously, and being able to get it. I like when you can go super fast in sections still, but like it's so when you get that sketchy feeling, like you're like, I almost died right there. It feels cool. Like it's like that was such a gnarly trail, but it was also flowy. It's like flowy and gnarly. I don't know how to explain. It's like a mixture of the best. Like it's just so you get done with it, and you're like, whoa. If there's lots of berms too, those make it really fun. Like I like when you can like swoop.
Yeah,
I like the really, really high berms that are made for like mountain bikes, like super fast mountain bikes.
Yeah.
Because when you get up if you're going fast enough to like have your whole body like kind of feel like you're like gravity
like sideways.
Yeah. Like that's like a really neat feeling. Yeah, I can relate to that.
I really like it when you get the unexpected drops or something like on a trail. You really didn't see it coming, and that's where you're like, oh shit, I almost died. But
yeah, then you're like, I'm so professional. I'm a professional.
I bet nobody can do this but me.
Yeah, sure. That's what we tell ourselves. Like, oh, yeah, go try to hit that.
Yeah.
If the camera wasn't on, it didn't happen.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy too. Like the new thing that I did this year, while I was at the Float Life Fest or whatever in Arkansas, was night rides, like flash ride. Bunch of that has that extra special, like I'm almost dying feeling. Like
at night, it's terrifying at night. Yeah. Actually, the very first time I rode a one wheel on a trail was at nighttime. Wheel Fun Stuff, they just do the gnarliest things, and like I'm new at one wheeling, and they're like nighttime trail, and I'm like, you just have to know, your board's right there, and you know how to ride it. So you just have to be more prepared is the thing, because your vision's kind of taken away, like limited at least.
It's crazy, yeah, and depending on the quality of your flashlight too, because the headlights on the one wheel are terrible for like trail riding. So like depending on the power of your flashlight, to like, I mean, obviously, you know, whatever, but like just seeing like maybe 10 feet in front of you, and you have to react really quickly to things that are right in front of you is so fun.
I just saw someone comment about Leopard's Loop, and I was about to mention that as well. You do no lights. If someone has lights on, this is over at Flit Life Fest. They have somewhere in Arkansas, it's called Leopard's Loop, and then it's like the ground lights up. It's like the gravel glows, I guess is the thing.
On the dark gravel?
Yeah, on the ground, and it's like compacted.
Yeah, it's asphalt, but the chips have like glow in the dark stuff in it. So everybody rides it like 2 times in a row with your lights on and flashlights on, and then everybody rides it with them off, and you're just riding like a snake, like glowing snake.
You know, we told someone, like, no, turn the lights off. You can see, and then someone broke their arm on it.
Oh, that was
that was
Carlo.
Yeah, Carlo.
Yeah, I saw him at Flit Life Fest this year, and he showed me a scar in real life. It's gross.
Oh, disgusting.
Yeah.
Speaking of broken arms or broken bones or bails, right? One of the big questions we always love to bring up to the table when we have a guest on is like best nosedive story or best bail story.
Okay, so I only really have had like good nosedives when I first started one wheeling, and they were like not even nothing crazy. I just like kind of hurt my back. But worst injury, I've been, knock on wood, very lucky with injuries. I have never broken anything, and so at this race for the rail this past year, I dislocated my shoulder the day before, and that was my worst injury so far, because since I've never broken anything, this is my gnarliest injury, and I thought it was broken. I felt my bone this way and this part empty, and my arm's hanging there, and I'm like, something's wrong with my arm. Like, I'm like, this is broken for sure. And so it still to this day hurts. Like, moving it around hurts, and so I haven't like completely healed it. So that definitely is my worst injury. And that happened on one of the kickers. It was the day before the race. We were practicing, and where they originally had the kicker was like a rocky landing, and then they moved it higher up on the trail. So it was honestly better at that spot because it had a smoother landing. Anyways, I was practicing, and I come down the whole trail, and I hit it, and I land it, and I'm like, whoa, they moved the kicker. So I reversed back to go practice it. And I'm there with Kay Love. Her and I are just sitting there hitting the kicker. I have it on video too. But I hit the kicker going pretty fast, and I land it. And then I think in my head, I can use this as an advantage because I do a lot of tricks, and like I'm comfortable with doing these kickers. If I hit it, get comfortable going really fast over it, I can use that as a benefit during the race to just like gap that area. That it wasn't the best idea. So I tried to go faster, and I end up just messing up. I had the thought in my head to bail, and I didn't, because I'm like, no, you can sometimes if you just stick through it, you can like land it. So I had that mindset, and I just like didn't land right, and I ended up landing like on my hand, and it like, I guess it like ended up dislocating my shoulder. But that so far has been my gnarliest injury. So
did you put it back in yourself, or did you have a doctor put it back
No,
in?
it was out for 30 minutes. And like, I should have went with my gut instinct, because first thing I did was look at Kay, and I said, I need help. I couldn't stop saying that. I need help. I need help. I need help. And then I was like, wanted to tell her to move my arm this way, but I was scared for her to touch it also, like, cause I didn't know what was going on. So like, I didn't even ask her. And then a couple people they didn't tell me this in the meantime, but they were thinking, like they told me later on that I knew it was dislocated. I wanted to do it, but like I ended up just going to the hospital. And so it was out for like 30 minutes, and the doctor put it back in. It was really quick. It went back in, but very painful. I didn't even want to race at all. Jack Mudd talked me into it. He was like, just tell me how you feel in the morning. And I was like, I was like, I don't want to do it at all. And I woke up in the morning and then I was like, I could do this. I could do this. And I actually had an immobilizer, so it was supposed to keep your elbow stuck right here. But I went to go ride the trail, and it's not comfortable staying. Like, you need to move a little bit. So I added a string so I could like release my arm to like here and not too much. And so I rigged up my immobilizer to be able to go down the trail.
That's sweet. That's very creative thinking behind it, because I know it like exactly.
Someone else had, yeah, not me.
Sometimes even like the amount of pads or wear or something, you can always feel it sometimes. Like if it inhibits your mobility, like you can't do certain things or like do them as you. So that would make sense. It'd be really hard to go with the sling, but at least you made.
I had
it
to
through.
switch to those knee pads that are made out of that like gel foam stuff that like sticks, whatever it is, that like my knee pads are not hard because I felt like I couldn't move.
Oh yeah, I think I have like the Kevlar ones or whatever they are.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
yeah,
I need to up everything.
Are you a pads or no pads rider?
I used to, my first year of riding, I was strictly no pads at all. And at Dirt Surfers, I was like, maybe I should put on some knee pads. And then there was just some sharp rocks there. So I got some knee pads to wear, and then I just slowly each race started adding more things, and then my elbow pads went on, and then I already had a helmet obviously for the race, and you have to have wrist guards. Honestly, I think the most important gear ever is wrist guards over helmet and over knee pads.
I agree.
Hit your hands and wrists and arms more than anything, and I've used my wrist guards more than anything. But yes, so I haven't worn body armor, but I'm thinking of getting some. It's just finding the right one, I guess. I want one that doesn't. I don't want to be all this bulky.
Right.
I'm not like a machine coming through. Like, I'm trying to have fun and be myself and feel like loose, and if I can't make it down like that, it's whatever. My goal isn't to win. I obviously I want to win, but I'm like, I'm having fun more than anything. So I'm like, I want to be comfortable with what I'm doing.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a bubble. Like I remember when
just to get first place.
Right. I remember when Kyle Klausing, Flo Jesus, and Robert Allen, Badger Wheel. I remember when we were at Mike's Bike Park event, and like I'm watching these dudes for 30 minutes just like suit up their armor and put stuff on, and I'm like, man, I would be so cramped up in that space. I'm like, I'll just take the fall. Like I'll just take the bruise to the chest or whatever.
Yeah. I get it. To each their own. It definitely is way more comfy, and you're not hurting yourself falling on all that. But I'm like, I'm gonna pass out from heat.
I did. I dislocated a rib at that event, but I don't know how. Can you even really protect against that? Like,
I don't know.
I saved the camera gear. I was going down this gnarly, I don't know, bike ramp, I guess. Like, came down through, and like I went to save the camera, so like literally I just took all of the force right to the rib.
Oh.
Like,
I think in the video you can hear his rib pop. Like,
the camera saved. That's
hey, camera matters more than me. But
I think we're using that camera right now.
Yeah. So question for you: race schedule this year. What races are out? What races?
Oh gosh, I am packed. I don't know. For sure, like absolutely every year, never gonna miss it. Dirt Surfers, Seek and Shred or / Shred Fest. Oh, there's Lemonade Float Fest this year. They're doing the underground's going to be there, so I'm definitely making it out because Lemonade's one of my sponsors, and it sounds so fun. Austin's cool place. They're going to have like festival vibes there going on, so I'm really excited to check it out there. And I've never gotten to ride my one wheel on Texas trails, even though I'm from Texas, so I have to. And so I'm excited to do that. Definitely going to those. There's Float the Highlands this year that I'm trying to go to. It's in Scotland.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it out though. It's definitely a trip for me with everything else. So I'm still trying to get that figured out. Let me have a list on my phone. I literally had to make a list because I was like, there's so much. Oh, Let It Ride, obviously, Vegas every year. So Let It Ride is in April. And then Burning Flux is happening this year. It's like Burning Man vibes with Flux movement. We did it
Nice.
last year for the first time, so he's doing it again this year, and that's towards the end of April. So, and then that's what I have planned so far.
Serious
There's
season though.
yeah,
it's
that's
pretty.
just the first half of the year, too.
I'm
Like that's
like,
till June.
I'm thinking like, oh gosh, how do I get to Oak City Shred Fest and then like maybe Float
That-
Life Fest?
Oak City Shred Fest is on my list too, for May, so I'm gonna try to make that out. Because I didn't get to go last year, and I want to check it out. So I definitely have a busy list. So let's sum this up. Let It Ride, Burning Flux, Lemonade Float Fest, Oak City Shred Fest, Dirt Surfers, Shred Fest, Float the Highlands. That's what I have listed so far.
Like seven. That's 7 events. That's
Until June. That's through June.
oh my gosh, you are gonna be busy. How do you manage this now? You said you're a dental hygienist still. Like, is that full time, part time, like on a weekly basis? What's your schedule of riding look like?
So since I've been a dental hygienist, I do something called temping, and I just kind of fill in at an office. And basically I go to repeat offices I've been to before, so it's like I work there, but it's only as I schedule it. So they usually I have good relations with all these offices, and so I stay pretty busy with places I know. I did this in Texas, and then when I moved to California, I just pretty much just booked them through an agency, and they pay me for the day, and so I can work as little or as much as I want. And I took on a job for Mondays and Tuesdays now, but they know my schedule. Like I tell them the one wheeling comes before the dental hygiene, and they're down with that. And I'm the type of person, I'm not going to let work dictate my life. Money comes and goes, so I'm going to make it work how it needs to work. I'm not living to work. I'm trying to have fun. So I do that, and my work knows that. So I try to be as smart as I can with all that, I do the work I need to. I plan in advance for that to be able to go to these things. But yeah, if my work's ever not down with my schedule, then I don't need to work there.
Yeah, that's a good mentality though. Yeah, you gotta work to live, but just you gotta live. So
yeah, I think there's things you don't need to be working so much like that. You can whatever life you want, you can get going. You just gotta find your way there.
amazing, absolutely amazing. Now, Allie, for all of the people out there who don't know you and haven't seen you race or haven't gone through this stuff, where specifically can we follow your journey?
Instagram, I guess. Is that what you're asking? Like where you keep up with me?
Where you post the most? Yeah, where you
post
post
the most. Yeah, I post the most on Instagram. It's Alibs with 4 E's. So yeah, well, I'm sure we'll put it on here. Alibs. And I post. I like to post. I keep up on my story a lot there, and I make posts, and I'll every so often edit some videos of what's going on. But I post on my story a lot, and I like to chat with people on my stories. So, yeah, Instagram is where I'm mainly doing the magic.
Any specific story behind why it's Alibs? Is that just your nickname, or?
So my name is Allison, and Allie is a nickname, and I spell it Allie. And my middle name is Brooke, last name Stanley. So pretty simple. I was just putting my names like Allie BS, but with just one E, it was taken. So I was like, I'm just gonna put 4.
Every time I hear it,
and I like it because everyone says that. Even when I was in dental hygiene school, people would call me Alib, so it's funny. One person did, but it was I never heard that again until I got into one wheeling, and I was like, that's so funny. People see it that way.
We gotta get the race for the rail announcers and all these people to start calling it out as Alibs and just get it to stick.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. That's what I think. My first time being on the ORL live stream, I think Jack called me that, or he said something like that, and then he's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that wasn't your name. I thought he's thinking it was pronounced that way, and I was like, it's okay, it works. Gets the point across. I'm used to it now. It's my name.
It's so sick. So we can find you at Ali's with the 3 E's, right? We can find
Four
you on
E's.
4 E's,
I'm
sorry.
I'm an even number gal.
There you go. So the 4, and now another question I did have for you, just curious, like tricks or trails? What's your high?
Don't make me choose. God. I think I enjoy if I'm just riding trails, I think I do prefer that a little more than tricks because you can kind of incorporate tricks in your trail riding. Like you can do a little bonk or like a little back one off a little rock. So I could combine the two, and you can't necessarily ride a trail when you're doing tricks in a warehouse or at a skate park. So I would say trail riding. But if you said racing or tricks, I would say tricks. Like I love racing, I really do, but it's not like my everything, I guess. Like I'd much rather have fun doing tricks than trying to put as much energy into like trying to get first place. But I'm naturally pretty good at it, and I'm fast, and it's fun, and I do like the competition, and I learn more about myself and about riding one wheels when I race. So I like that about it, and that's why I continue to do it. But yeah, in general, I think I like trails more than tricks.
There you go. There it is first. What go-to trick though? Like, what would you say your go-to trick is?
I love nose slides. Those are my favorite. That after I've learned, I know a lot of tricks, but I think nose slides are the most fun to like throw. And you can like do other little things with them too, and like a little nose slide pop over, like a nose slide body varial, or yeah, they're just fun.
Slides all day,
dude. Nose slides are the best.
They are.
Do you have any like shameless self-promotion you want to do right now?
Yeah, Lemonade Float Company, what's up? No, they've been honestly, Lemonade Flux Movement has been. I actually have a tattoo for Flux Movement, and they're my. Hold on, where'd we go? I have a tattoo for Flux Movement, and they've been my #1 sponsors for like a really while, and I love Flux Movement. Always fluxing it up. And then secondly, Lemonade.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that shirt.
So cool.
That was the first thing I ever asked Flux Movement for. I was like, "Where's that shirt? I want it." But they're my first. They're the one that like kind of started my like one wheel sponsorship journey. So I love Flux Movement from the bottom of my heart. And then I have to give a shout out to Lemonade Float Company because they have been such a great sponsor to me since they've been my sponsor, and they've really helped me out with a lot. And CJ is such a good guy, and like they're putting on this new event, and I'm so excited, and it's just growing. Lemonade's growing pretty big, and I think it's going to be pretty cool in the future. And yeah, so shout out to Flux and Lemonade.
Awesome. I'm going to check the comments here real quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you for all of our listeners that popped in.
I like the comment here from Christy Miller. Riding trails is a trick. I agree with that. I love that.
Yes. And then Quaid said something about women. What about women? Are you trying to go to women?
What? Oh, I do have to mention, I forgot, there's Fun Weekend going on in February. I completely forgot about that because I'm like here already, so it didn't seem like a trip. But like Fun Weekend, this is the 3rd year we're doing it. Wheel Fun Stuff, we have a little pump track we're doing. It's a BMX track, and we do that. We have this little track we're gonna go do. We have group rides we're gonna go do, and then we're having like a little party concert thing at Wheel Fun Stuff. So it's pretty much just a fun weekend filled of fun things that we're gonna do around San Diego with your one wheel and you and your friends. And so yeah, good time for that. And then I did see someone else in the comments mention about the registration for Lemonade that opened today, so that's a good fact too.
Go check it out. There's gonna be a lot of there's just so many things happening in this world this year. It's so crazy. Like between like the events and that expanding, and then all of these Vesk riders that are going to start showing up with all of these crazy new features and like their Fokker boards and like all these mods. It's going to be such an expanded place. I'm excited to see what this year looks like when we start really getting into it. Granted, like so over in your end, probably no snow or anything. Like we're over here buried in like 46 inches of snow. Can't go do anything. I was kidding. It's like 6 or 7 inches probably, but
40 inches.
It feels like 40 because I can't go ride my one wheel.
The problem
You're
here
like,
is
"I'm 12 to 40 inches.
Yeah.
yeah. The big problem too here is that it will be really cold and snowy, and then the next day it'll be warm, and then everything melts, and then it's gross out,
Yeah.
and
There's
then
like
it freezes again overnight, and there's just no.
there's no in between. You just can't choose. It can't be
Yeah.
like cold and snowy. It's got to be like nasty and slushy. Like that's what we
Yeah.
get.
Yeah, I'm very thankful to live somewhere where it's riding all year round. We've been recently getting some rain, so that's a little new. So we've been kind of like not been able to ride, but it's sunny for the most part. So
You guys needed the rain, right? Didn't you?
yeah, definitely. We kind of do.
Good stuff. All right. Well, I think I pretty much concludes today. I feel really bad that Taylor didn't get to join us in for this episode. And normally there'd be a lot more production and cool stuff happening, but Taylor's feeling under the weather, so make sure you give him a shout out and hope give him good vibes. Hope he feels better.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
made it through this, and
Yeah, sorry for the shitty production quality today.
sorry for terrible production.
Taylor, if you're watching, we did the best we could.
Yeah.
I hope you're feeling good.
We'll make sure there's a redemption episode with like the full experience later on when Taylor's back. We'll have Allie back on, and maybe we'll get some more. We'll get you on after maybe after race season here. We can get kind of your recap and some good things that happened throughout the season.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, and we need to get Taylor an intern so that he can take the day off, and we won't be screwed.
There we go. Get the intern.